characteristic of COVID-19. One, that it is universal. That is why it is a pandemic. Every country has been affected by it, starting from Iceland down to India, to every Australia, everywhere, Africa, everywhere. The second is that it is unique. We did not have this kind of COVID-19 pandemic or outbreak before. Therefore, it was first time that we were having. And the third, it became a problem that needed to be solved urgently because deaths were rising, because country after country was falling prey to the virus. Therefore, the three U drivers of COVID-19 were universal, unique, and requiring an urgent solution. So there were, in terms of developing the COVID vaccine, what were these 5 challenges? Primarily 5, there were many more. The first was the speed with which the vaccine needed to be developed. Generally, before this, the least time in which a vaccine had been developed was 3 years. But generally, a vaccine takes between 5 to 7 or 7 to 10 years. This is a vaccine that we needed as soon as possible, probably within the next 12 months. So that was our biggest challenge. The second was that even if we develop a vaccine within 12 months, we needed to have a safe vaccine. The vaccine must cause no harm to human body. The third was that we needed to have enough vaccines for everyone in the world. So therefore, WHO coined the slogan, no one is safe unless everyone is safe. Therefore, we needed vaccine to vaccinate every adult in this world. The fourth, that even if we have a very quick vaccine, which is safe in large quantity, we needed to have an affordable vaccine because countries needed to buy it. We couldn't have a very high cost vaccine which the world cannot use. And finally, we needed to really focus on a high coverage and equity, which means that it must reach every corner of this earth. So therefore, all these 5 were critical issues that the world faced in developing a COVID vaccine. But then, whenever there are challenges, human mind thinks of solutions. We will divide our solutions into 3 parts. The development part, which is the clinical trial and the discovery, then the decision, which is the policy, and the third is delivery. So in development, there were 3 solutions thought of. One, we will rely on tried and tested technology. For example, the mRNA vaccine had been tried before, but it failed. But the US government decided that no, we will once again try this mRNA technology to develop our vaccines, and therefore Moderna and Pfizer came up. The second was unthought of, unprecedented, unique partnerships were developed. 2 very rival and competing vaccine manufacturers joined hands to overcome the problem, building on each other's strengths to develop a vaccine. For example, you have seen AstraZeneca vaccine manufacturer and Serum Institute, 2 competing vaccine manufacturers joined hands. Oxford became the bridge, and they started working together, really sharing information. And one was manufacturing in Europe, one was manufacturing in India. Therefore, these unique partnerships became very, very strong kind of tools to take the challenges forward. The other unique partnership was between the countries and the manufacturers. The countries invested even before the manufacturer had found a solution, so that the manufacturer never fell short of funding. And that is our innovative funding mechanism. Various innovative funding mechanisms were thought of. The second big kind of solution that was thought of was around the decision. So it was decided that even before a full kind of review of the vaccine is done, based on safety, based on indicators of efficacy, emergency use authorization will be done by WHO, which is the SAGE, by FDA, by EMA, which is the European Medical Association, and then by countries like India, where the Drug Controller General of India will take emergency use authorization for approving vaccines to be used in India. But to do this, they had to rigorously monitor the development process. So therefore, they went to the vaccine manufacturing sites, looked at the various quality, the safety, the manufacturing processes to understand that everything was happening according to good clinical practices. And finally, delivery. Some global mechanisms were thought of, like COVAX. You will hear of that in the later slides. And in case of local, our Prime Minister and the government of India decided that we will stand by our friendly countries with whom we have good relation, and we will use what we call vaccine maitri or vaccine friendship to donate vaccine or to give vaccine at a low price to these countries so that they can benefit from the domestic manufacturers in India. So till date, as you know, that around 78 countries have received vaccine from India, small doses, but after that, India faced its own problems, and we have currently stopped vaccine maitri, but vaccine maitri will